those health benefits. But Chin style Tai Chi was never really known for health reasons. It was a martial-based Tai Chi. A gentleman named Yang Wu Chen spent anywhere from 9 to 16 years. We're not sure how long he spent in Chin Village, but he learned their version of Tai Chi, and then he modified it. So, for example, Chin style single whip looks like this. Yang style looks like that. Wu style looks like that. So you can see the association, but for various reasons they've altered it and changed it to make it look a little bit different. One of the reasons why Wu style tends to be tall is because when Yang Wu Chen taught in the Imperial Court, they wore clothing that restricted their setting. And so he had to make everything high frame because they couldn't physically get into these positions. And so there's changes. When martial arts was being banned because of communist China taking over, the Tai Chi styles that were very friendly for health purposes became more popular. And Yang became the most popular Tai Chi style in all of China, and now it's the biggest in the world. Over time, as people's mentalities and their availability of free time has changed, they've altered the practice to fit the culture. So now the popular thing is Yang 13. It started off as 108. It's been whittled down to. Now the system I'm going to teach you still is based on a 24 posture set, but I've taken some of the repetition out of it to make it shorter and easier to learn. Now some will say, well, won't I lose the endurance aspect of the practice? No, just do it more than once. You know, if you want to push your muscles, you can either do heavy or light, and if you do light, you're going to do more reps. The same thing with the Tai Chi set. And that is the Tai Chi set is really the culmination of all of the principles of practice and all of the exercises and things that you do that comprise the training. Everything gets put into this very concise format. But you lose some of the aspects of the practice if you only do the set and none of the rest of it. So I just can't just teach the set. It's just, can't do it. So we're going to learn a very simple Yang style Tai Chi Qigong set to go along with the practice of the posture set. And the reason for that is, one of the important aspects of the practice is to feel your energy. It feels, when you feel it, it feels like your body's kind of floating, or you feel kind of like a magnetic field that's powerful. That's when you know the chi is flowing very well and it's not obstructed. That's what we're going for. But to go from like standing, where you generally first feel your energy, to this and all this, it's quite a bit of a jump. So then there's intermediary things you do to try and maintain that sense of feeling into movement. And so you do some very simple movements to feel that flow of energy, and then you try to again maintain that feeling and put it into the set, which is why it's done slow at first. You actually can do the set fast for cardiovascular training, but most people just don't see that. That was always a part of Tai Chi training. Because honestly, if you're going to learn martial arts, you got to be in shape. And you're not going to get in cardiovascular shape like you would need for combat moving slow. But that was a learning module, and for learning to feel the energy. And then as you increase the complexity of what you do, you want to maintain that sense of flow and that sense of energy. And so there's these steps that you take in order to do that. And that's where the Tai Chi Qigong comes in. So we're going to start with a little bit of standing, kind of get our center. We're going to move into the Qigong practice, and then from there we'll go on to the set, and then we're going to do some two-person interactive things called Tu Xiao or sense of hands. Okay? All right, so start with your feet, about shoulder apart, knees slightly bent, hips tucked, relaxed chest and shoulders but not slumped, chin is slightly tucked. Your gaze should be soft but not necessarily closed eyes. Tongue is on the roof of the mouth in order to produce saliva so your mouth stays moist while you're training. We're going to start with the Wu Chi posture where your arms are just to your sides. Soften your gaze. And we're going to do 4 breaths. like you're holding a huge ball of like big water balloon, and then you're slightly pressing it against your stomach. So this will be called the lower embrace posture. Suggested practice is start with 4 breaths. Each week, add 1 breath until you get to where you're doing 12 breaths per posture. Now, the reason I don't suggest more than that is as you become deeper and absorbed into your practice, your breath will become very slow. When I'm practicing a lot, I will do 1 minute per breath. So you figure if you're doing 12 breaths, 3 positions, that's 36 minutes of practice. That's quite a bit. So, and the other reason why I like to do it based on breath number is you will likely absorb more deeply into your practice than you will if you just set a timer. And 2 breaths that are done very deeply with intent compared to 200 breaths that aren't, you're going to get way further. So the idea that you've got to practice 8,000 hours a day, you don't. It really depends on the depth of the practice and how it stimulates what's going on inside your mind and your body. So we're going for quality, not necessarily quantity. And that's why when you really grasp what Tai Chi's teaching, you can do a 4 or 5 minute set. And that's like taking an hour walk because of the depth of the practice. And so it's a technology that's designed to get a lot of bang for your buck without a lot of time. Now, it's going to take more than 4 minutes of practice a day to get there. You know, you have to do more, but to maintain that state that you get from it can be maintained in a very short period of time. Okay, so now let's all work our way down this way into a straight line. So we're all going to be straight across, faces are yours. We're going to work on Tai Chi walking. This sets the tone of how you're controlling your body when you're transitioning from posture to posture. So we're going to start with the left leg forward. The foot's turned slightly inward about 30 degrees. The back foot's turned 30 degrees an hour. So you have 2 parallel lines that are about 30 degrees. You're going to shift your weight to your back leg. Turn the front foot out from the heel. And then set it down so it's about 30 degrees the opposite direction. Shift your weight all forward. Bring the leg in and out. Set the heel down. Now, how far you set it out it must be slightly more difficult than easy. And as your legs get maintaining that angle, back foot steps in, out, heel first, very lightly. And then turn the foot inward. Cellular position. Good. And shift back. Turn the foot out. Shift it forward. And bring that back leg in. Out. Heel first. Good. Now shift and turn the foot inward. Right. Back. Turn out the foot. Shift forward. Good. Step in. Heel down. Shift. Turn that foot in. Now, part of the reason why it's so important for leg positioning, this relates back to Tai Chi's martial roots, that when you're going to execute or issue power, you have to be sure-footed. And you didn't have time, once you set your foot down to try and fumble it and then release power, once you place it, it's in proper position, and boom. So that kind of resoluteness is just a part of that type of training. But you can think of things in life where that can be beneficial. Being very clear and intentional. And then once you place yourself in position, you root, and then you interact. And the slower you go, the better, because it's going to really work those legs. Now, part of the reason why so much emphasis is put on legs is, one, they're the larger muscle groups, so they can create a lot more force. Secondly, your kidney channel starts in the unitron point, which is the ball of your foot. And the Taoists say that when your legs start to go, your health is going, because your kidney in Chinese health sciences is your long-term store of health and vitality. And so when the kidney starts to weaken, it's a sign that your overall health is starting to wane. And so there's a big emphasis in Chinese health sciences to really work the legs, keep the kidney channel open, tonify the kidneys, keep them healthy. Because if you want longevity and to have energy and function as you age, you really have to pay attention to the kidneys. And so that's why there's so many things start with legs. Okay? So now, going backwards is slightly different. So shift the foot, so lift the foot, the toes up to the heel. Lift the foot and step over the heel of what was your back leg. And you're going to step at kind of an angle and set your heel down so that your heels are lined up when you set it down. So then this front foot turns inward. And now you're in kind of a shorter stance, we call this a halfway stance, and your heels are lined up. Whereas the bow and arrow stance, what we're just doing, there was width. This one, there's no width. It's almost like you're walking on a tightrope. So you lift the toes and the heels, step over, toe, heel, shift your weight, turn the foot inward. Pause for a second, make sure you've got a good position. Now, lift the heel, the toe, the heels, step, toe, heel, shift, turn inward. Good. Now, lift the toe, the heels, step, toe, heel, and anytime we're in that transitional stance, it's always kind of this 30-degree type parallel line spiral that we're going for. Okay? Toe, heels, step, toe, heel, shift, turn in. Good. another trip. Start with our right legs forward, within the stance, 2 3 parallel lines. Shift the weight on the back leg, lift the toes, turn out the foot, shift your weight forward, step in, out, heel first, there lightly, very controlled, then shift the weight, turn the foot in, good. Then shift back, turn out the foot, shift forward, step in, out. Good. Shift back, turn out the foot, shift forward. There we go. Step in, out. So that foot will be at that lateral angle, and as you shift, it turns inward toward the center. Good. Then shift back, turn the foot out, shift forward, step in, step out. Good. Shift, turn the foot in. So as you set it down, it'll be outward. As you shift it, before you set the foot down, it rotates and plants itself. Boom, good. And then shift back, turn out, shift forward, foot maintains position, step in, heel, and rotate as you shift your weight. And make sure when you step here, don't put that foot down, keep that heel up, so then it screws into the ground like you're planting a screw in or a post, okay? So shift back, turn out the foot, shift forward, step in, out, in first, shift, turn the foot in. Good. And shift back, turn out the foot, shift forward, step in, step out, heel, shift, screw that heel in. Oh, good. Take one more step. Shift out, out, and boom. Good. Now let's start stepping backward. Lift, step in line, turn in. Lift the toes, and the heel, step over. Good. Step. Good, okay, so now into what you're doing to do this. When you can't, you know there's too much going on here. And so it's not going to be a matter of adjusting your strength, it's a matter of adjusting your internal environment. Tai Chi is very reflective. You are looking in the mirror when you practice Tai Chi. That's one of the things I've learned throughout my time as a teacher, as a practitioner. I've been doing this for 30 years more. If this isn't right, I'm a shaky Tai Chi person, okay? And it's been a very powerful tool for me to balance, to know when I'm doing too much. And then I have to analyze, well, why? Why am I not focused. Why is there too much going on? So then I go through the process of understanding, okay, what choices have I made? What am I engaging in? Have I taken on too much? Have I taken on too little? And then you start this process of analyzation. It becomes a true practice of integration. It's probably one of the most important benefits of the practice. And we can make great decisions all our lives, but there's always like that yin within the yang. There's always a little something. And it's good to shed light on that little something. Because it gives us something to work for, it gives us purpose.